Hello, Cleveland. As the sticker says, I am Keddy, Research and Communications Manager at the University of Western Ontario, and probably the only person in here who doesn't tweet. However, I'm pretty excited to be able to get through this next 5 minutes and not held against me that I've only lasted for 5 minutes. So as somebody who hates to give public presentations, why on earth am I up here? I think it's because I've been pretty lucky to have some pretty good opportunities volunteering in the developing and recently developing world, which has been supported by my employers. So the first question that anybody always asks me is, how on earth did you manage to get your employers to pay for these trips abroad? And they say, how can you be so lucky? And I try to say, well, you know what, it's not about luck, it's about being fortunate. Because I've had employers with foresight, but at the same time I've been strategic enough to highlight what is going to work for them, for me, and for the institution. And this is really going quite quickly. So my first trip to the recently developing world was to Malaysia in 2006. Fascinating country because they suspend civil liberties in order to achieve economic progress. Not so good. Very reliant on new technology, however, opened a loophole for people to rise up against the government. And for the first time in 2008, the ruling Barisan National Party did not achieve majority status because of things like Twitter and Facebook and blogs and people actually talking about things. So what did I learn? I learned, really, this gave me an appetite for the global world and how to become involved. And from this, I also wrote a paper that is Keddy's in the Keddy Development Studies. I don't know if you want to buy it. I think it's about 25 bucks a piece. Moving on to Kenya, Tanzania in 2007. Western Heads East is London's response to the HIV/AIDS and malnutrition crises in Tanzania and Kenya throughout. They've introduced a probiotic yogurt product developed here at Western and the Lawson Health Research Institute to help deal with the crisis, as I've mentioned, for HIV/AIDS and malnutrition in East Africa. They're working with women's groups to develop microfinance. What I learned, well, this thing pretty much created who I am today, has made me who I am because it changed me foundationally about my outlook on the world. I'm on course. Moving forward to 2009, I had the opportunity to spend 7.5 weeks in Rwanda, the Democratic Republic of Congo, to help establish an environmental college. Really important because this is a country that is trying to move on from the genocide of 1994 that we are all so familiar with. What it does is it's teaching how to protect the environment and make money from it. And now I'm a little lost again. I think what we have to do, though, is we have to get past our impressions of what Rwanda is. They're not mired in their past. They're trying to move past it, and as should we. This is now one of the safest countries in Africa. And I think us in our media should be able to start moving on and talking about problems that exist today, very real problems, not dwelling on the ones in the past. Finally, most recently I traveled to Peru with the Alternative Spring Break Program, which is Western service learning initiative that takes students off the beaches where they have an alcohol-soaked March break and takes them to service learning abroad or within our own communities here. We spent a week, which is not a whole heck of a lot of time, building the second floor of a school and trying to at least instill the concepts of service learning for students who are at a pretty impressionable age. I'm not even getting through half the stuff that I hope you're enjoying the pictures. I like taking pictures. Sets us up for the big finish right here. I hope it's really big. Challenges in our world can be overwhelming, and sometimes the only way I've been able to stay sane through my travels is to try to do small things instead of trying to change the world all at once. That's one thing I learned. I would also say, the last slide mentioned James Woods. He's an 11-year-old here from London who created a program to help widows of rangers who have been killed protecting gorillas. He's 11 years old, people. We, in this room, can certainly do something.
Big finish.
Big finish. It's the third big finish. I'm still finishing. Anyway, this sort of environment here is what I'm talking about. If we come together within our communities, we can start to begin to make change. On an individual level, a community level, and then on a much bigger level. This is going to come across as perhaps a little naive, but I've been foundationally changed by my experiences, and I think that if everybody has a chance to go see the world, we might live in a better world.